ask a question that maybe comes at this from another side. Maybe a young preacher is in front of you, and his issue isn't that, the relevance thing, but his issue is that he's not perceiving his audience or his context as a missionary. So he knows that his people hears certain phrases, or maybe knows that something like substitutionary atonement and that language is so beyond even maybe the average person in the cubicle at work for a parishioner, and he wants to, and he doesn't care about that. Like, so he'll just drop maybe Christianese, and almost it sounds countercultural, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's not understandable. What would you say to that person that leans in that direction?
That's really good pushback. Really, really, really important. I would say, not only do the few unbelievers there not know what you're talking about, most of your people are going to yawn at those phrases as well.
Right.
And you don't want yawners.
Right.
I love Christianese, if it's biblical. You know, I love the word propitiation.
Right.
And I'm totally aware that the church doesn't know what that word means.
Right.
You cannot use the word propitiation in any average church without some explanation, or multiply that, that jargon. So my response is, I want to talk about the most glorious realities in the world, and I don't think there's a more important one than the word propitiation.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think when J.I. Packer was asked to sum up Christianity, I think he said propitiation by substitution. Well, thank you, but
right.
But isn't that amazing?
It is.
The totality of what we have to bring is God is angry at the world. God is merciful to the world.
Right.
And he saves us from his anger by the substitution of his son. So I would say, believer or no believer, we need fresh language all the time.
Right.
Now, I personally think we'll never throw away the old language, especially if they're right there in the text. And therefore, part of what I want to do is train my people about the meaning of jargon.
Right.
So it's sweet. And yet realize all the time, especially if you've got a growing church, these things have to be unpacked in a way that when you don't know the jargon, you can see the reality.
Right.
And that's probably since language is always changing, the preaching will always be different.